Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. Only one I say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as
Hello, bonjour and bonani. Welcome to Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. It is so significant to have a positive mindset, more especially under these circumstances. So this network has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. My name is Riel Kunene, and I'm going to be your host for today. So if you are watching us online, please feel free to put in the chat box where you're watching us from and what you hope to achieve from our podcast. Today, we are surrounded by greatness in the World Wide Web. We have amazing speakers who's going to share some nuggets on empowerment. So in Oregon, we have Eli Delaney. And in Virginia, we have Doug Torres. In the beautiful Canada, Alberta, we have Jocelyn Pearson. And in Arizona, we have Stephanie Loeras. In the beautiful United Kingdom, we have Corinne LePage. So at this moment, I'll just let our speakers to introduce themselves. So you can go ahead, Eli.
All right. Well, first off, it is my pleasure to be here. I love doing this kind of stuff. My name is Eli Delaney. I'm the co-founder of Purple Knight Marketing and creator of the Follow Up Rockstar system. And what we do is we help our clients not just take their message out there and help them become better at sharing their gift, but on top of that, we help them to build stronger relationships with the people that they're already around, because reality is the relationships that you have with both your prospects, your clients, and even just the people that you meet around the world, that is the way to growing your business and to having a successful life in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, wow. So good to have you, Eli. You can go ahead, Dagmar, and introduce yourself too.
Hi, my name is Dagmar Torres, and I am the founder and CEO of Dauntless Mainstream LLC. And my business dedicates itself to help people to develop their business from the ground. I am centered to help parents. That's like kind of my niche. But I actually help anybody with this entrepreneurial spirit. So if you're looking for, kind of like learn how, then I'm here.
I love that. It's so good to have you, Dagmar. You can go ahead, Jocelyn, and introduce yourself too.
Thank you for having me on here. This is such a pleasure. So I am a founding partner of Women Dialogues, and that is a platform we have for women to gain more exposure and more business. So we offer a podcast as well as a magazine. But more so, the most part I'm excited about is the platform where we allow women to bring their business, their services, to put on our platform to gain more of a global presence. Thank you.
So good to have you, Jocelyn. You can go ahead, Stephanie, and introduce yourself, please.
Well, it's great to be here. As everyone said, I'm Stephanie Loeras. I'm the owner of Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness. I'm a body positive personal trainer, fitness nutrition specialist, author, and speaker. Lots of titles to say that I work with individuals, groups, and businesses to help you feel good in your body inside and out.
Oh, wow. So good to have you, Stephanie. You can go ahead, Corinne, and introduce yourself as well.
Hello, everybody, and thanks again, Riel, for inviting me along. It's great to be here. I'm actually speaking to you today from Guernsey in the Channel Islands, quite far away, I think, from many of you. So I'm the founder and CEO of Thrive Coaching and Training, and I help business owners and leaders who struggle to feel seen and heard, and I show them how to connect in their own unique way so that they can enjoy the authority and the success that they deserve. And so I help people to transform who they're being and how they communicate. And I share lots of tools and insights and techniques to help them along the way. So I run group coaching programs and do one-to-one coaching as well. So very happy to be here.
Wow, it's so good to have you, Corinne. So now you can really see that we are surrounded by greatness. From all these intros, I am looking forward to hear each one of the speakers speak in our lives. And I believe our audience really, they are just looking forward as much as I do. So I'm gonna go to you, Eli. I have a question for you. If you happen to have your own billboard, I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway of Oregon. What will your billboard say?
It would say exactly what's right above my head: meet cool people. That is really it, because the people that meet are going to get you anywhere you want to go. And that is, relationships are the key to anything you want to. If you want to get better in life, no matter it's a personal, the relationships with family, for friends, and in the business world, the relationship really is the key. That is the thing that makes the difference. And the only way you can have better relationships or more relationships is by meeting cool people.
Oh, I love that. Meet cool people. I believe all of these people here are cool. So I love that. I love that. So how about you, Dagmar? What will your billboard say? Maybe your billboard is already out there. We don't know. What will your billboard say?
Oh, mine will say success is in your blood. A lot of people think that they're not enough, or they think that they don't have what it takes, or they think, oh, I probably have to go and, get some, invest so much money on learning a skill or something, when they already have what it takes. They have the skill, they have the experience, and they have the spirit, the entrepreneurial spirit within them, and they just need that little push.
Success is in your blood. It's part of my DNA. I love that. I love that. So how about you, Jocelyn? I can see your billboard coming down there in the busy highway in Alberta. I don't know which highway in Alberta, but it's definitely coming. What will it say?
On many highways. It would say, live your life by design. I find many people live by default and by what others want, and not by their choosing.
Wow, live your life by design, not by default. I love that. I love that. How about you, Stephanie? I believe your billboard is coming down there in the busy highway in Arizona. What will it say?
My billboard would be, I always find a way. One of the things that happens is we set our sights on something and we derail ourselves. We come up with an excuse, or there's a barrier that pops up that we can't see our way around. And, it's not that Pollyanna thinking that anything is possible. It really is possible that we can achieve something, but sometimes we need a little bit of support, or to dismantle something in a way that maybe looks a little bit different, but we can find a way to get what we want and achieve the things that we want.
Oh, wow, it's always possible. There should be a way on getting what you want. I love that. I love that. How about you, Corinne? Your billboard, like miles and miles away from us in the beautiful United Kingdom. What will your billboard say?
Well, mine leads nicely on from all of yours, actually. Thrive Coaching empowers you to thrive. I show people how they can transform into their most magnificent self. So be your most magnificent self. Don't hold yourself back. Step into who you are. Put that mantle on of who you are, and be and thrive and enjoy the success that you deserve.
Wow. Be your magnificent self. Wow. I love that. I love that. So I believe mine can be like the fourth billboard. The 6th billboard driving down the highway, and it's going to say, rise to greater heights, because you know what? The sky is no longer the limit. The sky is our point of view. So we need to rise to greater heights. And you know what? It's coming. It's coming. So now we're flying all the way to Oregon. Eli Delaney. Eli Delaney is your automated systems strategist, and is also known as the People Whisperer. He's the creator of the follow-up Rockstar system, teaching entrepreneurs how to go from surviving to thriving in any economy through the art of science of building strong relationships and following up your life. He's an Amazon bestseller with his 2 books, Marketing Tidbits and Networking Tidbits. With a passion for connecting people, his best-selling training course, Networking Like a Rockstar, has over 1,365 students registered globally. Wow, wow. So Eli helps speakers, authors, coaches automate their follow-up to grow their business without having to have an MBA from MIT. I love that. He's the guy to help you build a 24/7 automated system and turn you into a follow-up rockstar. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Eli Delaney.
Thank you so much. It is, like I said earlier, it's my pleasure to be here. I love doing this kind of stuff. You know, I said that meeting cool people is what I love to do. And to be perfectly honest, yes, as a speaker, I love speaking. I love getting on stage and sharing, you know, tidbits of nuggets and stuff like that. The reality is the connections that I make after this is over with, that's where the magic is. And a lot of people don't realize that, because in today's world, especially from a business standpoint, a lot of times we go with that, for lack of a better term, we like to call it the hunter mentality. We're going out and you can only eat what you kill, which is not a very good analogy, to be perfectly honest. But that's how a lot of people view their business. It's about, how do I get the sale today? And the reality is that what happens today is only a small percentage of what's possible. You know, there's, and I can't remember where this chart came from. I'm gonna have to go look it up again. But there's a factor of, if you meet 100 people, and by the way, I know this from my own experience when I started as a speaker, that I knew that if I met 100 people and I spoke in front of people and my message was great, I might get 10 people out of that 100 that would come up to me and say, I am ready to work with you. Let's do this. Here's my credit card. My brain immediately went to, what about the other 90? Now, out of the other 90, another 10 of those people will probably never become clients. They're just not a fit for whatever reason. But you still got that 80 in the middle. And most people forget about that. And when you're looking at growing a business, and today's topic is empowerment. Well, if you want to become empowered, you have to get around more of the right people, and you have to share your message with more of the right people. And that's where it gives you the ability to empower them at the same time, which is really kind of fun, because everything that I do in my business is based around, how can I add value, knowing that at some point when somebody's ready, they're going to come back and they're going to say, okay, Eli, I'm ready to work with you. I know I need help. Let's do this. What's that look like? And then we can have a real cool conversation from it. But in the meantime, I use the tools and technology that are out there. A lot of us in business, we have a CRM system, we have email management, we have social media software that'll help us post all of our stuff, which is good. But is this stuff that's going out there all about a pitch? Is it all about what you have for sale today? And I'm sure everybody here will probably shake their heads when I say, if you've ever been on somebody else's list, you got those people where that's literally the only time you ever hear from them is when they're selling you something, right? We call that the internet marketing booty call. They only call you when they want something. Okay. I like to call them pitch pirates, because they only want you when you want your booty, right? We need to get away from that. We, as marketers, as entrepreneurs, as coaches, as speakers, as people who are helping influence other people, whatever term you want to add that to, it's our responsibility to be in front of people, share what we have, add value to their lives on a regular basis so they never forget who we are and that we actually care about them. It really is a simple concept. But I can say that, you know, in my experience, I've been in business for over 27 years. And I can say that easily 95% of the people out there miss the boat on this one. They forget that just having a real conversation with somebody is one of the easiest things you can do to not only make an impact, but also make a sale in your business. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do right now that would probably help you out. And you can utilize this. I use this mostly for businesses. If you're in business, I want you to go just think about 5 clients of yours that you haven't talked to in the last 30 days. Just list out their names. And then I want you to go call them. Pick up the phone, call them and just say, hey, I haven't talked to you for a while. I just want to check in. How you doing? Don't sell them anything. You're not there to pitch them. You're there to have a conversation. Ask them what they're up to. Especially in the last couple of years, the world has been in flux with everything that's going on. Do you know how many times people are like shocked if you call them up and just don't try to sell them anything, but just ask them how they're doing? Because they're not used to that. They're used to the people that when they do call them, they're trying to sell them something. Now, if the conversation leads to, oh yeah, you know what? I've actually needed to call you. I need you to help me with this thing. Great. You have a good conversation. You can do this with an email too, by the way. I have a client and we actually teach clients this, where you can actually just send an email and all it is, hey, I haven't stayed in touch like I should. I'm sorry. I want to make it up to you, but I want to hear what's going on with you. What have you been up to lately? I have a client that sent that one email out, got 100% response and closed $12,000 in sales by the end of the week. By the way, if you weren't paying attention, come back and watch the recording of this. Use the script I just gave you. That's all there is to it. Don't make it harder than that. These simple little things like this make a huge difference. Now, this is the tip of the iceberg of what you can do, but take that, run with it. And by the way, once you've done it, come back to me and tell me what you did. You can connect with me very, very, very easily. I'll actually give you my contact information here. Go to connectwitheli.com. It's right here above my head. And that's how all my contact information is there. You can find me on social media. You can even book a call with me if you want to chat. I mean, I'm a totally laid back dude. Okay. I like to have cool conversations and meet cool people. So let's have a conversation. But if nothing else, take what I just shared with you, go do it, and then come back and let me have the results. I have yet to have somebody who's done that didn't get a result out of it, that it fell flat on. Yet, not once in over a decade. Take that, run with it, because the people that you meet, the connections you have, the relationships you build will get you anywhere you want to go. You just have to get out there with them. But I think that's about as much time as I was supposed to have. How's that sound?
Oh, wow, Eli, oh my goodness, just drop the mic. You mentioned that the people we meet will take us wherever we want to go.
Yes.
Oh, now we can see that truly your business is all about building relationships.
Yeah.
Building relationships. Thank you so much, Eli, for sharing such a profound message in just like less than 7 minutes, but it was really, really profound. So thank you so much. And I hope our audience out there will go out there and reach out to you, because they need to hear this. They need someone who will just push them, who will push them. So to our audience online, please feel free. If you haven't shared Eli's video, you better share this message to your networks. And if you are watching on Facebook, also go on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Rise to Greater Heights Network, because you need to hear this. You need to click on the replay. On Facebook, this video will disappear in the next 24 hours, but on YouTube, it's going to be there. So go out there, subscribe to the channel, because you really need the replay on this one. So thank you so much, Eli, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. So now we're gonna go to Virginia. We have Dagmar Torres. Dagmar Torres is on a mission to help veterans and anyone with the entrepreneurial spirit to create their blueprint to a successful life and business, all while developing a social media presence and grow their business offline or online. So Dagmar, who has 24 plus years of leadership and 9 years of network marketing experience, she brings you a diverse wealth of knowledge. Her experience in the private and public sectors and successful transition into entrepreneurship make her your very own greatest asset. She produces and hosts the Be Fearless podcast, which is a podcast that showcases people that went from just an ordinary person to extraordinary. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Dagmar Torres.
Hello, thank you, everybody. I am so honored. Thank you so much for inviting me being here today. You know what? I love something that Elijah said. Is the empower people through value. That's so important when we are building our business and when we try to empower people through our business, right? And a way to do that is through our branding. I don't know if you guys have heard about Marty Numir. Like this guy has over 30 plus year of branding experience, and that, like, he's my guru, like my guy too, right? And the things that I have learned from him. And one thing that he said is that when we pay attention to the way that we build our brand, and empower people through our brand, you know, it's just like the juice, like the perfect formula to make those connections with your audience. So, but first you have to understand what branding is, and you know, it's not your logo, it's not your product, it's not the promise that you make to your customers, it's not the marketing impressions that you make. It is branding basically is the result of that impact that you have made into your customers. So it's the reputation that your customers sees about your service or business, right? Or product. And then, I'm sorry, I have my little like keynote here. So just give me 1 second. So how do we build our brand in, you know, in that empowerment, keeping that empowerment in mind, right? And the thing is just to keep in mind your to see your brand through your customers' eyes. Because sometimes we or like something, or we can like focus on, oh, I want my brand to look this way so I can have this effect into people, but we're missing really what our customers are needs are, and how we're gonna make an impact or empower people if we don't know what they're looking for. So when we build a business to empower others, we need to kind of like survey them to see what their needs are, and see what is that they are looking for, so we can provide the proper value. And you know, there's that's what create engagement. That's how people is going to engage with your brand. That's how people is going to be on automatic purchase, and they're going to be like having that emotional attachment to your brand, like, oh my God, like I cannot live with Elias' brand. I love connecting with people. I love everything what he is for, right? It is through that, creating that emotion. And you do that through the empowerment. And the other and main thing is that you have to constantly make sure that your brand provides the value of your customers. It provides them value, like, you know, something that they makes them have that sense of belonging. And when they do, you capture their attention, they will be looking for every single update, upgrade that you're going to be offering out there, every brand new course, every like new product, every new service, everything that your brand creates is going to be like, oh my gosh, like I cannot live without it. I need to have Stephanie's course. So I need to find, I'm sorry, I need Jesslyn. Did I say that right? Jesslyn, I need Jesslyn in my life, or I need Corinne, right? Or I need I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Cunini? Did I say that right? I'm a very interactive person, so.
Yes, it's Kunene.
Kinene. So I need Kinene. I need to like hear her podcast, look over her YouTube channel all the time to find my inspiration. So to create that, I mean, you create that through also empowering them, right? Give them what they want. And you also need to niche down your specialty. What is that you are good at it? What it is what makes you stand from everybody else? And when you find, and how you do that is to also be very strategic. Strategy is going to be always like, it's everything. It's like the main thing on everything that you do with your brand. It is either for motivating, empowering, inspiring, creativity, whatever it is that you want to develop, or like have them feel for, or like make your customer attached to your brand. You have to be very strategic, and you also have to be very flexible when you do that, because what works today might not work tomorrow. So you have to be willing and especially being very aware of how the trends that are created in the market on an everyday basis, so you can tweak your brand and evolve. And that's why it's important that you are just focused on strategy and do not become emotionally attached to any concept that you're developing in your brand, because like I said, what works today might not work tomorrow. And those are my 5 cents for today. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Dagmar Torres, and you can find me in every social media platform as Dagmar Torres, or you can follow my podcast, the Be Fearless Podcast, and Instagram, you can also find me as the Success Strategist. So thank you so much for inviting me here today.
Wow, Dagmar, you've mentioned everything that we need to hear about branding, really, about the importance of investing on ourselves more than investing on people, because they always say that you'll have to fill your own cup. And then after you fill your own cup, you'll have to give out from the overflow. And that's exactly what you're telling us about branding today. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dagmar, for sharing such a powerful message. I hope our audience have been moved with your message really on branding. So thank you. Thank you, Dagmar. So now we are going to Alberta, where we have Jessalyn Pearson. Jessalyn Pearson is not your average entrepreneur. After 15 plus years in the corporate and public sector, this visionary woman decided to leave her highly successful career as a project management professional, and she became one of the founding partners of A Legacy Global, as well as a full-time investment banker, real estate investor, speaker, and educator specifically for women. So Jessalyn takes complex, often confusing topics of wealth and wealth and breaks it down into immediately useful and digestible ways for women to improve their relationship with money. I love money. So this to-be author has the insights and hard-earned wisdom that comes only from real-world experiences. Jessalyn is saying that at one point I was dealing with workplace harassment, building a side business, and raising my 2 young boys. I was deeply unhappy. I knew something needed to change, Jessalyn. So by using her strong prowess of leadership, expertise in financial education and real estate investing, she educates and supports women to create a vision and a plan that can transform their lives. Jessalyn is saying that I believe that women deserve a full time of abundance, and that starts with their relationship to money, wealth, and worth. So Jessalyn holds a Bachelor of Management degree, project management certification, and financial life professional certification. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Jessalyn Pearson.
Thank you so much for the intro. It is a pleasure to be here. Excuse me. Amongst all that, my big thing that I love is dreaming, and some call it dreaming, some call it visioning. I'm more on the visioning side, I guess, because that's kind of where my strengths are. But what does dreaming look like to you? That is so personal to everyone. You can get someone who wants that flashy sports car or the beach house, to someone who just, their dream is to pay off their mortgage or have time freedom to spend with their children. And whatever that dream is, it's yours. But if your dream doesn't have a why, a purpose attached to it, it's not going to fulfill you. So I always work with women to encourage them to figure out their why first. Excuse me. And in order to dream big and get it, you need to know where you are starting from. So many people have dreams, which is awesome, but they never get it because they don't have a why connected to it, or they don't create a plan on how to achieve it, which is very sad because I think everyone deserves their dream. Everyone. I'm a very practical person. I'm grounded in reality and I'm a visionary. That's kind of part of my brilliance. But when a lot of people vision or create a dream, they kind of go, I want a Maserati. I want $1 million. But it's not grounded in reality. Like, where does that even come from? But if you do it, your vision, your dream, whatever you want to call it, grounded in reality, in your body, your heart, who you are as a person, and you take whatever gifts you have, because everyone has gifts, and you mix that into your dream and your vision, that's what makes your dream come true. So many people are spinning in their heads and they're in fantasy land and they're not understanding why they can't reach or achieve these astronomical goals and dreams because they don't bring it back to themselves. So, for example, according to a society, if I was to look around, I'm living what's called the dream. I've made it, right? I've got the big house, the family, the little kids, the good car, the dream job. But that's not enough. The stuff doesn't matter. There's got to be more to it. So when I talk with people about their dreams and I support them in their dreams, we determine their why, and then we go back and assess where they are today. So we can map out, if you're here and you want to get here, how do we bridge that gap? How do we get you to achieve your dream? So, but I'm not satisfied like with people who don't fit their dream, or the dream doesn't fit the person. So for example, if I said, I want a Maserati, it is fast, it's flashy, everyone will love it. I'm going to be whole and complete when I have a Maserati. I get a Maserati. I'm not a car person at all, by the way. I'm not. I get a Maserati, I'll drive it for maybe a day or a week, and it's gonna be like, all right, what's next? Wow, that did not give me what I thought it would. But if you attach your dream to something you love or you want, like for example, for myself, I have a few dreams, but one is eventually to have a larger house with a chef's kitchen. And that's because I love to cook and bake and entertain. But that's for me, right? Like, I know a lot of people don't love to be in the kitchen. They'd rather not, but I'm like, that's where I'm in my like artistic world and just relaxed. And if I can bake something and have someone else eat it, perfect. I probably should add more kids, but like that is connected to me. And my bigger dream is to be on many stages in front of hundreds and thousands of women to help them create their dream, create their life, like I said, by design. Because I believe once you have a plan, you can fulfill it. So as part of your dream, you need to be feeling whole, loving, and accepting as yourself on all levels, your brilliance and your shortcomings, because it's a package deal. And a lot of people will focus on what they don't have. Well, I'm never going to achieve it because I don't have enough money. I don't have enough people in my life. I don't have the right house. When I have $1 million, I will fill in the blank. But you need to start now. It's good to have your dream, but assess what you have, because I guarantee you, you have good things going on in your life that will help you get to where you're going. You just might not see it because you're maybe in a job you don't like. And while I always encourage women and people in general to get out of a job they don't like, look at the good things in that job. Like, it's giving you money to help you go towards your dream. It's paying your bills while you're working on your dream. There's always a positive in everything, I find. And if you can find that, you want to keep what's good in your life. And then obviously there are things you could always probably toss out. And so you review that as well. And then you want to bring in what you need to help you on your path. So again, dream big, absolutely dream big. But when you do, make sure it's connected to your why. Like, it's for you. It's not for your husband, your kids, your mother-in-law, your boss. It's for you, because if you chase a dream that isn't really truly yours, that you believe in and you want, it will be empty when you get there. And then you're going to look back and go, wow, I took 5 years to get something I never wanted in the first place. So take the time to figure out why you want it. Then when you do, assess where you are and everything you've got, so you can bridge the gap to get where you're going, and then take steps. They don't have to be big steps. They can be small steps, and they add up really quickly to get you to your dream. That's my dream big. And where I come from, I love empowering women to dream big, whether it's personally or in their business. But either way, I believe women deserve to live a life on their terms. And I speak from experience, being a wife, a mom, everything else. I really struggled as a career mom, feeling guilty about not being with my children. I chased the money for years. I thought that's what I needed. And then when I finally achieved it, I was sick, like really sick. I was bedridden for 2 months because I was so stressed out. And I was like, wow, what do I do now? I got money, and found out that wasn't what was fulfilling. Fulfilling to me is helping other people achieve that next step in their life, moving the needle to a life they want, and a life where I would say, if I left this world tomorrow, I have no regrets. I'm happy I took at least one step to where I wanted to be, to making this world a better place. Thank you.
Wow, Jocelyn, oh my goodness. You know, I was trying to take notes here. You say that we shouldn't focus on what we don't have. And if we want something in life, we'll have to take the time to assess on why we really want that, and then take necessary steps to achieve that. Wow. Wow, you said we are worth it and we should live it. So, wow. Oh my goodness, like I've been really, really moved. And I believe our audience too have been really, really moved to dream big. It's not all about the money, but it's all about making a difference. It's all about rising together with one another, instead of like stepping on each other to get to the top. So thank you so much, Jocelyn, for sharing such a profound, much needed message. Thank you. So now we are going to Arizona. We are going to Stephanie Lueras. Stephanie Lueras is a body positive ACE certified personal trainer, ACE fitness nutrition specialist, international best-selling author, and a speaker. So after coming to a point in life where she was sick and tired of being sick and tired, she just needed to make some changes. Through small actions and goal setting, Stephanie Lueras has lost over 200 pounds through balanced nutrition and movement, without the use of restrictive dieting, commercial weight loss plans, or supplements. Wow, 200 pounds. Wow, congratulations. She has gained a love of endurance sports, running marathons, and is currently training for Ironman distance races. She uses this same holistic goal setting model in working with clients in groups and individually to empower people to break down the everyday barriers that exist so they can achieve what they are working towards for their best personal wellness. So Stephanie specializes in beginner and adaptive fitness, aiding those of all sizes, all ages, condition, or illness and the ability to consistently, I lost your five, consistency with their personal movement and nutrition goals. She enjoys incorporating body weight resistance training into workouts. So many of the workouts require no or minimal equipment. She is also a TRX suspension system instructor, Silver Sneakers fitness instructor, and Silver Sneakers nutrition facilitator. So in 2020, she is also completing her Kundalini Yoga certification and orthopedic exercise specialist program. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Stephanie Lueres.
Thank you. I am so thrilled to be here with such amazing people today. As Jesselyn was talking, I'm like, we are on the same page, talking about the small steps. And when it comes to goal setting, especially in the business world, we think about things like SWOT analysis and SMART goals in this very linear thinking, where we put all these systems and structures into place about where we're going to overhaul everything in our lives or business or whatever it is that we're setting out to achieve. And sometimes we overwhelm ourselves. And that's where we sometimes fall short when we set out to achieve a goal. And a lot of times, goal setting becomes very daunting to people because we have all these systems and structures that we've been trained have to be put into place in order to be successful with goals, that we lose sight of the prize. And when I talk about goals, most people tend to understand what I talk about from a wellness standpoint. And, I might have someone come into my office and say, I want to lose X number of pounds. Well, that's great. That we don't, rain on anyone's parade for wanting to better themselves. But losing weight doesn't tell us a whole lot of the why. Jesselyn talked about that. Well, why do you want to do that? We have to understand our why in order to be successful. Why do you want to accomplish something? So if somebody says, I want to lose weight, well, why do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to feel better. Okay, well, even there, why? What does that mean to you? Well, I want to have my clothes feel better or fit better. I want to sleep better. I want to have more mobility. I want to keep up with my kids or grandkids. I want to be able to get up off the floor if I fall down. That's a very valid concern. We keep asking that question, why, over and over again, at least 5 to 7 times. Because the more we ask that question, why, we get deeper answers. We get to a very vulnerable place. Those answers to that question, why, gets us to actionable steps on what we want to actually achieve. We may say, I want to lose X number of pounds. That's great. But the answers to that question, why, is what we're actually going to work on. Those are the things that we can break down into actionable steps of nutrition, movement, strength training, cardiovascular endurance, a lot of different things where we can be incorporating small steps every single day that fit into our lifestyle. We get the New Year's resolution effect, where we're going to overhaul our life in one day. And all of a sudden, it might last for a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but it's not sustainable. It's something that it really doesn't fit our lifestyle, our calendars, maybe even our budgets, our family life. And if it's not realistic, if it's not something that fits our lifestyle, then it's not going to be sustainable long-term change. We aren't going to achieve what we actually want. But when we're taking those actionable steps, when we're breaking it down into those small pieces towards what we want and incorporating it into every single day, repeating it over and over, it snowballs. It becomes massive change. And it's not sexy. It's not the overnight transformation. And that's the hard part. That's where accountability comes in, where you have people, not that are shoulder tapping you and saying, hey, are you keeping your commitments, but that are encouraging you, providing you supports and resources to say, look at what you're achieving. Look at all that is changing, because we can see your success in hindsight and help you to keep going. Because there is massive change that's happening, but we don't see it in the day-to-day when we're doing things in 5-minute increments, when we're doing things in little bits, when we're changing one habit at a time instead of those grand sweeping measures. So, thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my God, Stephanie, you've mentioned the realistic and reasonable goal setting and goal modification that can lead us to see massive, massive results in regardless of the holistic of health without the use of diets and programs. You've mentioned that you'll have to take the actionable steps in order for you to achieve that. You can't just say, I want to lose weight, but your diet is still the same, your whatsoever you are doing is still the same. You'll have to make a change. You'll have to make a change. I remember myself when the new year began, I was like, it's gonna be one of my resolution to lose weight. So when I see someone who lost 200 pounds, I'm like, then if you can, I can too. So I'm so determined. I want to lose this weight. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing such a powerful message on really on goal setting, on goal modification, on living that balanced life. We really need it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we are flying all the way to the United Kingdom. We have Corinne LePage. Corinne, she helps business owners who struggle to feel and seen heard. She shows them how to connect with others in their own unique way so they can enjoy the impact and business success they deserve. She brings tried and tested insights that will cut through your challenges and replace them with the right solutions for you, your business, and your industry. She started her career in finance and then moved to the British Airways, where she trained and coached people worldwide. She's also trained as a counselor, which was part of the British Airways Employee Assistance Program. Corinne loves helping people to be the best version of themselves in their own unique way, so they grow their business and their life in an extraordinary ways. So kings and queens, please join me and welcome Corinne Lepage.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Riel, and all of you. And it's just amazing listening to you all, because it's like we've got these jigsaw pieces coming together, and we hadn't planned this, but it's all coming together because we have one main passion that we share about empowerment. So it's all coming together. So it's fantastic to see it, isn't it? So you already know about me from the bio there. And for me, it all started with what I call a curious case of self-worth. And what do I mean by that? Well, I used to be more of a people pleaser, you know, until I realized my true worth. And there are so many people that I know and that I work with who struggle with that. And it took me a while, but, you know, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago now, I started my own business when I realized my own self-worth. And that's when I was looking at my big why. Why am I doing this? Why do I want to start my own business? Because I wanted to reach more people. I'd been doing training with British Airways, reaching people worldwide in that way, but I wanted to do this in my own way and to help people and empower people. And I saw also how people struggle with their communication. And I realized that actually everything else is built on our perception and our self-worth. Until that's in place, we can't really build anything because it falls away. And this is what you've all been saying as well. You need a strong foundation in order to build and to develop and to develop yourself. And so it's like a foundation stone, isn't it? Self-worth. So, you know, why then? Why is this important? Well, let's take an example. Imagine that somebody wants to learn to be more assertive in their life and to have more authority. Well, until they can appreciate their self-worth, it's going to be a strain for them to be assertive. It's not going to feel comfortable for them. It's going to be really out of alignment with what they believe about themselves. And actually, this self-doubt probably shows through as well, which means that they aren't having as much impact as they could potentially have. They're not having as much authority as they really should be having. And so once they can realize their self-worth, they can stand up for them, you know, for what they believe. And people know what they stand for because they're communicating in an authentic way. And so there's a great saying, quote from Eleanor Roosevelt, which is, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." You've probably heard that one. So yes, you know, we can go on training courses, we can learn all these useful tips and techniques. And at the same time, we can struggle to use those if we're plagued with self-doubt. It becomes, I call it like a sheep dip. You can go on a one-day course and you're like going through this sheep dip, but until you know how to apply those things, until you have that self-worth and that solid foundation, it's very difficult to build upon that. So I've got a group coaching program, which is called the Communication Code. And you might think immediately that's all about how to communicate, words, ask, question, listening. Well, yes, that all comes into play. But we start with self-worth for this reason, because, you know, it's the foundation. Until people can build that self-worth, the rest isn't going to happen. So as they progress through the program, it's an 8-week program, they realize their transformations are starting to happen. In fact, it's really interesting because they start to say, well, actually, I realize that I'm doing that quite automatically, actually, without thinking about it now. And that's what we're looking for, isn't it? We want this to become subconscious, comfortable, so people actually are aware that they're making these transformations, and it becomes much more natural for them to do so. And they can only do that when they've realized their self-worth and they're in alignment with their true values and their true goals. Without that, it's not going to happen. So once we realize that how everything is built on that, we start changing our self-perceptions, and our limiting beliefs become a lot more aware of our limiting beliefs, and I call them gremlins. And it's about the relationship we have with these gremlins, because they were there for a very good reason. They were there to protect us in some way at some point in our life, and we no longer need them. But those gremlins can just keep perpetuating that self-doubt and tearing us down at times when we want to be empowered. And so it's about changing that relationship, giving them a name, you know, actually putting them in their place. You know, you're the boss of gremlin, and you can give them a title, you can give them a name, whatever you want, but it's about thanking them and saying, I don't need you in this moment, but thank you anyway. Yeah, rather than getting into batting them down and hating them. So as we become more self-aware of all of these things and more confident and less reliant on others for our happiness, satisfaction and self-worth, everything changes. Life is just better when we're more confident and we have that work, that value in ourselves, and we value ourselves. It just is, isn't it? And there's another great saying by Glenn Beck. I don't know if you know this one. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is believing that you're worth the trip. Yeah. And so it really is that. And, you know, it's that inspired me to start my own business, because I realized that actually I can help people here. And as Jessalyn was saying, and Stephanie mentioned too, about starting with your why. You know, and as a coach, this often comes up working with business people. What's your goal? Well, I want to make, you know, $1 million, in my case, pounds, but it could be $1 million in a year. Okay, so that's what you want. So what's that going to give you then? What will that $1 million give you? Well, I'll be able to get a great house, and I've always wanted a boat, and I really love a flash car. Okay, so you've got your great house, you've got your boat, you've got your flash car. What does that give you? Well, that's it, isn't it? No, what does that actually give you? You wake up in the morning, you have all of those things. How are you feeling? Wow. Oh, wow. That's a good question. Well, I guess I feel happy and, you know, free. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. So you want to feel free. You want to feel empowered. You want to feel peace, whatever that is. That's your goal. Yeah. Or you want to feel like you're making a difference in the world. That's what you really want. So it's really interesting, isn't it? You know, this first we've got to value yourself, but through the work we're all doing, and I can see that today, we're all helping people to get to that point where they can value themselves and appreciate their self-worth. So, and for me, you know, it's all about, as I said at the beginning, my vision is to empower people to thrive and to step into their most magnificent selves, and to be able to shed all of those things that are holding them back. And there's a great, I watched a video by this guy who's talking about gremlins actually, and he said it's like a stonemason. Your value is in the middle, and what you chip away to get to that beautiful thing in the middle, that is your gremlin. You're chipping away those things that fall away onto the floor to reveal your true gem and jewel in the middle. So that's it from me. It's really great to be here. If you'd like to connect with me, I think my website comes up here on the screen. And also I'd like to offer you a free gift. I don't quite know how I share the link to it on here, but I've got an empowering blueprint with 5 ways to be seen, connect and have impact starting now. So I'll share that. I can give a link. Shall I put it in the chat, or we can share it afterwards?
Yes, you can put it in the chat. I think I've tagged everyone on the video on Facebook, so you can just put it in the chat over there. Okay,
I'll do that. I'll put that in the chat. And also, if you want to book a free consultation with me, I call it a self-worth discovery call. So you can also book that with me, but I welcome any inquiries. So thank you very much.
Oh wow, Corinne, oh my goodness, you've mentioned that until you build your self-worth, nothing is going to happen. And it's like you're following on Jessalyn's shoes, because like it's not all about the material things. You've accumulated all the wealth. Now what's next? Are you happy? Like Jocelyn, she was so unhappy with her career until she decided, like, I'm gonna take my life into my own hands. And that's exactly what you're saying. You are just emphasizing, Corinne, your self-worth. Your self-worth. Without having confidence within yourself, you're not gonna give that confidence to the world. You are worth it. And I believe that at the moment you know who you are and what you want to achieve, then you will definitely know the reason why you live self-worth. So thank you so much, Corinne, for
Pleasure.
sharing such a powerful message. And I hope our audience will reach out to you. If you own a business, reach out to Corinne. She coaches business owners. She coaches anyone who just wants that change. That change in your life, you better reach out to all these amazing speakers. So thank you so much. And to our audience online, thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights. So if you happen to have any questions to any of the speakers, really put it in the chat box. We will come back and check your questions and then respond to your questions. I can see our audience on Facebook here. I can see Mariah Cox. Thank you all amazing speakers for dropping some nuggets. I can see Badelisa, David Nkonta watching, Stella, I can see you. I can see Princess watching and all the comments. Stella is saying true smart goals without a vision is dead. And that's so true. Dream big. Our amazing audience really have been really motivated. They've been inspired, really. I'll go back and watch the replay because with the last speaker from the first to the last, like I'm like trying to hold my emotions, but each and every speaker is like moving me, empowering me. So I'm like, okay, with Corinne, I was like, I just want to release my emotions now. But you know what? We are on live TV. So yeah, I'm going to hold it inside. But yes, I am feeling it. I am feeling so empowered. And I believe our audience have been really empowered too. So to our audience online, please reach out to all these amazing speakers. At the end, they're going to share again how you can reach out to them. And please reach out to them because you may never know. You need that change. You need that shift in your life. So our amazing speakers are here to empower you today as the new year begins, because we are like in the first quarter of the year. So you need that shift. So reach out to all of these amazing speakers. So you know what, I'm gonna be the next speaker, but before I speak, what I'm gonna do, I am gonna share my bio and then I'll come back and speak.
Non-Pumelelo Rial Kunene is a highly sought-after, energetic, certified Les Brown International speaker. She is the author and host to Rise to Greater Heights, a book and YouTube channel to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Rial is also a coach, mentor, and an MC, well known for encouraging many to rise from mediocrity into greatness. Her vision is not only to motivate, but also to empower audiences with a fresh perspective, inspiration they require to pursue success and drive sustainable outcomes in a seriously funny way. Rial believes that we are in full control of our choices. Her mission is to meet the needs and transform lives of her clients and her audience. Rial's book, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their personal and professional passion to become go-getters. Her goal is to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs, then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. Rial Kunene wears many hats as a professional certified sales manager, CEO, strategist, certified travel counselor, trainer, esthetician, philanthropist, diplomacy protocol officer, international human rights analyst, and a commissioner for OAS. Following her dreams gave her purpose to see her goals through and understand that she does have everything she needs to reach her full potential. Her everyday message is that your journey to be a better person starts with you. So knowing who you are to your core will make you understand that you are the only one who can accomplish your dreams. Hebrews 11, Psalm 27 and 40. Keep her to rise to greater heights. Kings and queens, please join me. Welcome, Riel Kunene!
Wow, thank you so much, amazing speakers, and thank you so much to our audience. You know, these speakers that we have today, they've just set the bar high for me. So I am not too sure if I'm gonna be able to fill in their shoes, but you know what? I will try, because I'm always trying. I'll get there one day. But before I continue, I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you with a raise of hand can say that, Riel, I have never, ever complained in life? Never, ever complained in life. Seemingly, I'm in the right platform, because you know what? Sometimes in life we go complaining about everything. Or the weather is really bad today. Traffic was worse than expected. My family drives me crazy sometimes. Or the movie was really disappointing, you name it. Though whining can be a way to build an inspiration, it can also keep us from acting, and it gives excuses time to procrastinate from achieving goals. One thing I've realized is that we usually complain in the wake of a negative situation. We tend to focus more on the problem than finding potential solutions. It's always much easier to complain than to find a solution. And individuals who whine on a regular basis, they apt to have a bad health. So next time you'll find you complaining that, why do pizzas come in square boxes, yet they're round? And funny enough, they're cut in triangles. Does that sound like you? Yeah, please write this down. Emotional empowerment. Emotional empowerment. You know, in an ideal world where we always feel wonderful, our emotions can be an empowering part of who we are in our lives of recovery. So being emotionally empowered, it means that we have to manage all three of these areas of our lives: the way we think, our emotions, as well as the way we behave in situations. So since I work with mindset transformation as well as resilience, I often pick up some cues from my environment that trigger emotions, such as reading a person's body language or facial expressions, and then catching glimpses of people's lives and their challenges. As my everyday book says, that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. So the way we respond to our feelings is a conditioned response. So the first step in becoming an emotionally authentic person is to own your own emotions. Like that must shed some nuggets on the importance of investing in yourself. So in life, we encounter all sorts of situations. Different people will give their emotional power away to others by blaming responsibility through statements like, you made me feel. You know, pain is inevitable, but emotions are something we create, and they are also something we can choose. Why? I'm glad you asked that, because misery is a choice. It can feel like we are consumed and controlled by our own emotions. Good people, you really don't have to see the whole staircase in life, but you'll have to take the first step to get to the top. As my mentor always said, that you don't have to be great to get started, but you'll have to get started to become great in life. You know, this world that we live in, the world we live in is becoming a brewing pot of hate and anger today. But emotions are choices that you can put in the brakes if you choose to. Like Eli, he mentioned that the people we meet will take us wherever we want to go. So when something that someone else has said or done upsets you, it's all too natural to immediately like to pass a blame on them for your hurt and the anger to the offending person that, okay, you've made me do this, you've made me feel this way. But instead, let's try to recognize that we've programmed ourselves to react like that in certain ways and in certain situations based on our preconceived beliefs and priorities. So good people, just stop passing blame and accept responsibility for your own emotions, because you do have a choice. As flight attendants always say that, and I know Corinne can agree with me, that you'll have to put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you are trying to help could possibly go down. So the good news is that we can train our brains to look for positives. We can train our brains to look for positives to acquire emotional empowerment. So to acquire emotional empowerment, you need to accept where you are right now in your life. Even if you're going through difficult times, accept where you are right now in life, because you can't heal until you first acknowledge what you are feeling inside. Your emotional habits can determine the quality of your life. So you'll have to take control of your emotions by improving your emotional resilience. When you express your feelings, you are also practicing like self-love. Like Jesslyn said, that you are worth it. So when you practice self-love, you're saying that I am worthy and I do matter in this world. So good people, this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call to go out there and empower yourself, make a difference to those who look at you as an inspiration. This is a wake-up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. Why don't you wake up, get going, and increase your emotional intelligence? Increase your emotional intelligence, because if you aspire to be in a leadership role, there is an emotional element you need to consider. It was Corinne who mentioned that until you build your self-worth, nothing is going to happen. So emotional intelligence has to do with one's ability to both recognize and control their own emotions. Those possessing a high level of emotional intelligence have a connection with their own emotions, as well as the ability to recognize, relate to, and influence the emotions of others. People who excel in their emotional intelligence can be easy to recognize, since they know what they are feeling and how these emotions can affect other people. And the most effective leaders are all alike in one crucial way. They are aware of their strengths and their weaknesses, and they strive for continuous improvement. So most people, they make mistakes around emotional intelligence because they don't acknowledge their own flaws, don't even learn from their own mistakes. Perhaps they are unable to delegate or at least understand what's happening around other people. You know, good people, it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. I know Nompumelelo. Many people, when they try to say my name, they always butcher my name. But Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. So now you can see that I am really, really challenged to chase after success, no matter what comes my way. Like Stephanie, she shared a realistic and reasonable goal setting and goal modification. So if I may ask you today, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? I know I am one of those people. I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals in order for you to gain guidance on professional development. So as a coach and as a mentor, I know most of us are coaches, most of us are mentors here. My goal is really to study your current situation, identify limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you might be experiencing, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. You know what, good people, I so wish you can just tell yourself that, you know what, I've heard enough. All these amazing speakers have shared some nuggets on empowerment, self-empowerment, empower others to rise together with you. I've had enough. So I'll have to go out there and make a difference. Make a difference. The change that you want to see in this world must first start with you. Make a difference to those who look at you as an inspiration, to those who count on you. But in order for you to make that difference, in order for you to empower others, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, really, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I am a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see a lion, I'll have to run. I believe that's the lion mindset that we need in order for us to feel like we are empowered, in order for us to make a difference, because I believe that we all rise together and we rise by lifting each other up. We are only here to fix each other's crown, not to tear anyone down in this world. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the 8th grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. Really, that English teacher, she didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. And it also aligns with my destiny. So for those of you who don't know the phoenix bird, the phoenix is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature, it acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. I want to encourage you, if you are watching and listening under my voice today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die first, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down. Write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. And I know you've heard this before, that your setback is your setup for your comeback. Your setback is your setup for your comeback. So if I can be honest with you today, I don't know what dreams you have for your future. I don't know what goals you've set for the next 6 months, but here is one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you are designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we are all destined for greatness as long as we follow his strategy. This is when the growth commences, because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what skills, what talents, and what books will die with you? And the late Dr. Miles Monroe, he said, the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the goals, all the visions, all the skills, all the talents have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I am really proud today to introduce Rise to Greater Heights book before you. This book is a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And you know what? I didn't stop there after listening to these messages. I didn't stop there with the whole George Floyd situation that happened May 25th in 2020. I believe that everyone is born free and everyone has the right to life. So I decided to write my book, Human Rights, which are God-given fundamental rights and freedoms, because I believe that we need to stand for a world where no one shall live in fear because of the color of their skin, and where the criminal justice system treats everyone fairly and equally. And you know what? I didn't stop there. We came together, Resilience to Greatness. We came together with 15 different co-authors around the world, being trained by Les Brown. We came together with this book, Resilience to Greatness, and 17 different authors around the world. We came together with Cultivate Your Mindset for Success. And I believe that this book has the potential to completely revolutionize every aspect of your life and career. And I also have a free transformation guide for you. It's available on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. With a free transformation guide, you'll be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose-driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, mental health, emotional intelligence, and many, many more topics, including spiritual growth, as well as successful parenting. Because you know what, growing up, I didn't have much in life because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. But I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, Mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Nompumelelo Riel Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you so much, amazing speakers. Thank you so, so much. So now, thank you. We are at the end of our podcast. So please feel free to share with our audience how they can reach out to you, as well as if you have any final thoughts that you just want to share with the audience. The floor is yours now. I'm going to go and check if we have any questions being posted by our audience, and then I will come back. So any speaker can just jump in, share your final thoughts, and share how the audience can reach out to you. And if you have any freebie, please feel free to share again with them. Thank you.
All right, everybody else is still muted, so I'll go ahead and go first. First off, thank you so much for having me here. This was a lot of fun, and it was great meeting each one of you as other speakers. To connect with me, it's really easy. Above my head, connect with Eli.com. If you're listening to an audio version of this, Eli is E-L-Y. That's one distinction. If you go to E-L-I, it's some dude in the Midwest who sells real estate. Totally different person. Love to connect with you. And I have free gifts and stuff like that. Go to that page. They're on there. Most importantly, my final thoughts on any type of thing like this: you have an opportunity to connect with some pretty amazing people. I can tell from just listening to the other speakers here, each one of you is amazing. And I've already connected with some of you. Okay. If you're listening or you're watching this right now, find the people on the stage, reach out to them. And if something made sense to you, something resonated with you, send them a message and tell them that. I know as a speaker, for me personally, that makes a world of difference for me. That's what I love to hear. I love to have that. And I want to hear more. I want to hear, it's like, okay, not only did this make sense to you, but what are you doing? What's that action step that you're taking that is going to take you to the next piece? And what are the results? You know, I said that when I spoke. I want to hear these things. I want to have that connection. And I can probably say I vouch for most of the people on here. I bet you everybody else here would love to have that exact same type of conversation with you. If you took something that they said, go out there, do it, connect with them, let them know that that made sense, because that's the start of a great relationship. That's my 2 cents worth.
Well, I don't know if we're going in order, but I'm going to go next. Well, it's been a pleasure, honestly, an honor to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me. You guys, I mean, thank you for your time as well, for listening and investing into learning and expanding through other people's experience. That's something that sometimes we take for granted, and it's just like take that a couple minutes to listen to what other people have to say. Although it seems like we might be in like similar niches and everything, I think that there's no competition in the kingdom, and we all here to support and grow each other in every way. So feel free, like Ella said, to go to everybody and connect with everybody. We are here with different backgrounds but different experiences, and we can definitely help every one of you to grow, which is the main thing, right? My name is Dagmar Torres. Like I said, you can connect with me in Facebook with my name, Dagmar Torres, or just search for my podcast, Be Fearless Podcast. On Instagram, you can find me as _success strategies. I'm sorry. And you can also find me with that tag name on TikTok. Sometimes they are, making fun videos and stuff. Just, stay with the trend. And you can also download my freebie at downlessbook.com. My freebie is the 5 steps to jumpstart success. So if you subscribe there, you will be able to get an email with the PDF with all the juiciness that I have for you there. And if you want to get to know a little more about me, my story, how I embarked in this entrepreneurial venture, you can go to Amazon and look for my book, Dauntless: Creating Your Blueprint for Success. And having that said, thank you so much for being here, and have an amazing day.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you everyone else for sharing. Absolutely. I can see the common trend and theme between all of us, which is amazing considering we're quite global on this call. If anyone would like to get a hold of me, it's jesslynpearson.com. My social media is Jesslyn Pearson, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. I try to keep it simple. If you can spell my name, which people usually forget a few S's, but jessampearson.com. If you go there, you can book a free consultation with me where I will help dig in with a discovery call to see just where you're at and how we can help you move forward. Like other speakers have said here, we all have strengths in what we do. It's not competition. I believe we all have something a little bit more unique to each of us that we can offer. So yes, please reach out. And like Eli said, I'm 100%, it's a feel-good thing. If you reach out and said, just thank you, you've made me think about this differently, or I'm going to share this with my friend. That to me is a step where I've opened someone else's eyes or helped them move forward, even if it's just a little bit. That's where it all starts. So thank you, everyone. And again, thank you for having me on this podcast.
And I echo the thank yous. You can find me by searching either Stephanie Loweris on all the social media networks. I am at some iteration of Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness, and soul is spelled S-O-L-E, but the easiest way to find me is on my website, Heart and Soul, S-O-L-E, fit.com. On my website is a way to get on my calendar. We can have a free 30-minute call to talk about wellness. And wellness is not just your physical health. Wellness is about your whole person. And I know I'm not everybody's jam, but I have cultivated a huge referral network of people I know, like, and most importantly, trust, that if I'm not your fit, that I can send you in the right direction of who is the right fit to help you towards your goals. Just like the amazing people that we have heard today, there is somebody that's going to help you move towards who you want to be, how you want to feel, and where you want to show up in this world.
Likewise, I feel really privileged to be here today and to be here with all of you. And thank you again, Rael, for inviting me. And I would just echo again that whatever has resonated with you today, you will be drawn or towards one person or two or more people here. But know that we're all here with the same intention to help you to get whatever it is you want to get. So wherever it is you want to get to, then we're here to help you. And so it'd be lovely to hear from you if you feel that what I've said today has resonated with you too. So thank you very much, and best wishes for your success.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much to our amazing speakers, really, starting from Eli, who started with the topic, you'll have to create your own persona. Dagmar, she shared on how to build your own brand. And then Stephanie, she said, Jesslyn, she said that we'll have to dream big. And then Stephanie was like, you know what, you'll have to set your goals, goal setting. Oh, and then Corinne, she came with self-worth. So I was like, oh my goodness, I've been really, really inspired. I've been really, really moved. So I'm gonna go back and watch the replay. And just thank you so much for sparing that 90 minutes to be with us here at Rise to Greater Heights. It means the world to us. So thank you, amazing speakers. So to our audience online, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today at Rise to Greater Heights Network, where you can turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. I hope with all these messages from these amazing speakers, you've been really inspired, you've been motivated, and you are ready to rise to greater heights. So do join us next week at the same time, same place. Thank you. Merci. Siyabonga.
Let him laugh, let him weep, let him yell, let him sing. All they wanna say. Let him lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let them laugh, let them weep, let them yell, let them tell. All they wanna say. Let them lay me traps and men to pray to Jehovah, me I pray. Let I be me instead of playing games. For chasing fame, let somebody sweat the lack of flames. No, living my life to the fullest and shout out my halala to the fullest. Let my lungs out. I'm still rising up to greater heights as long as I'm